Well, it's interesting anyway. Welcome to the Browns halftime show with the score 16-10. The Browns are ahead. Imagine if we actually had a quarterback. Can you imagine to be able to take advantage of some of the momentum that this team had in the first half? By the way, I want to let everybody know that what we're doing right now is a little bit different. If you're watching on your phone, you'll notice you have a vertical signal. If you're watching on your computer, you have a horizontal, more of a landscape view. We are simultaneously recording in two different formats so that it will accommodate both your cell phone and your computer. Uh, Quarterback's terrible. I mean, I don't know. I don't understand for the life of me. I really don't. Uh, he made one good throw, Dylan Gabriel, to Cedric Tillman, who ran a nice pattern, caught the ball, and that was downfield, and that looked good. But everything that goes to the sidelines out, he spikes into the ground. It's just, and whose brilliant idea was to call a quarterback option? The guy's slower than I am, and I'm a fat fuck. For goodness sakes. He's small, he's not accurate, and he's slow. Somebody explain this to me, really, like I'm a 5-year-old. I don't understand. Can you imagine if, I mean, just with accuracy issues alone, the plays that we run, they don't take long enough for the quarterback to hold on to the ball and get sacked. So what are they so worried about with the Shedeur Sanders situation? Why are they so concerned about and going to lengths not to play him? And that's an excuse you heard in college. He held on to the ball too long. There isn't a play in the playbook that lasts that long, and he would not be spiking the ball into the ground, for God's sakes. It's really hard for me to understand. Here's another thing I don't understand. You're a professional football team, and there's not that many of them. There has to be a better body available than TJ Leviston. There just has to be. He's the worst offensive lineman, and that's worse than Cam Robinson. And I was actually kind of happy to see him leave the field until I saw Leviston come out. It's unbelievable. That guy is totally inept. He is Linda Ronstadt, Blue Bayou. The guy's terrible. I just refuse to acknowledge that there isn't somebody in the mix somewhere who could at least stay in front of somebody and actually lay a hand on them. This is like the 5th time I've seen him whiff completely on someone, and I don't even know what he's doing. He doesn't know who he's supposed to be blocking. Here's another thing. Just when you thought you saw the last, I should say, of Ford in the backfield, he's in there and he lines up in the wrong place. And they have to bring him in. No, you're not a wideout. Get back in here. Doesn't he know where he's lining up when he comes into the game? Question mark. Here's another thing. There's just one after another after another. When he wants to play and he plays the Ravens, Myles Garrett is the best defensive end in football, bar none. But how do you get him to play like that every week? Maybe if you had a winning organization, for Christ's sake. Maybe it would be different then. But seeing these glimpses of periods of time where he is just overwhelmingly dominant and fans are questioning him, it's like, don't question him. It's the organization. As far as, I see what's being said here, Bronk, I get it. The North is horrible. Yeah, and the Steelers-Bengals game was horrible. Anybody still want Joe Flacco back? I didn't think so. God almighty. Aaron Rodgers, Lamar Jackson, overrated. I mean, come on. I understand what he does well. No. What he does well, he's elusive, he's fast. He can make plays and be a threat with his legs that opens things up down the field. I understand all that. The only thing I didn't understand, the Browns are letting Derrick Henry get off. They're letting him pick up steam. The last many times we've played the Ravens, we were living in the backfield and stopping him. But today there isn't that kind of defensive line penetration. And, he's getting a running start, and that's going to come back and bite us in the ass as sure as I'm sitting here. Devin Bush, did he actually atone for what he did last week? Nah. Yeah, give him a break. Give him a break, for God's sakes. God. Let's see if anybody else commenting anything. Something, you're not going to have to do another season of Stefanski and Berry. Stefanski's going to be terminated at the end of the year, and I think Berry, the only reason Berry won't is because he's the financial guy behind Haslam. Haslam wouldn't know what to do with money. He would lose it if he kept it in a jar or in a safe. He's a moron. But Stefanski will be gone, and with him will be gone Tommy Rees. All of it will be gone. He's not a competent coach, and at this point we all know that. And isn't that the truth? I mean, we have a great young running back, but you really wouldn't know it, to be sure, because of exactly what Mark is saying here in chat. Is like, I dare the midget to throw the ball. I can't throw the ball that far. I can't throw it. I love the color commentary guy who said, the advantage of Dillon Gabriel on a day like this is pretty simple. He's a line thrower, straight line, hard line drive thrower. He doesn't put a lot of air under the ball. Have you ever seen him try to throw the ball 25 yards down the field? And then he proceeds to spike a bunch of them into the ground. Quinshon Judkins made some moves in the first half that were nothing short of amazing. His feet are tremendous. You give him a crease, and if we had an offensive line who could hold blocks because they're, relatively close to their primes, he would be breaking a lot of long runs. He's a very fine running back, and it's a shame that people don't get to see that or realize that. I read something about Jamar Chase going to get suspended for spitting. Skull brother. So, yeah, and I wrote this on Facebook weeks ago. We're not the champions, my friend. He's the racist Freddie Mercury. That's who he is. We can go on and on and on about this. And yeah, Garrett's having a good time. He's going to make it to the Hall of Fame. Just ask Joe Thomas. He's just going to need mental guidance and help like Joe did to get through it. And that's another thing. Njoku is all but invisible in all of this completely. No, Njoku's not visible on the field, and what purpose he serves, I really don't know. And Brian, of course, we know that Dillon Gabriel is not an NFL quarterback. Something, I don't know whether Bernie actually did have that or not. The first one he was supposed to get ended up being infected. He was hopeful in a video earlier today that he was going to find out one way or the other. I've heard nothing about it. It breaks my heart to see Bernie Kosar in that condition. It's a brutal game, football. And I just looked at a picture of him from 2020 compared to today, and I don't want to say what I think. I'll just leave it be because it really bothers me. Uh, yeah, I think that the reason they can make the necessary adjustments and win, Browns fan, is because they've got the players to do it. We don't have any adjustments that we can possibly make because we just don't have the players. And that's pretty much the end of that. Um, and as far as 2020 hindsight, I, if we had a quarterback, we'd be using him. What can I tell you? Dillon Gabriel, if you have any tools offensively, you're never going to be able to see them in action because he can't get the ball to them. It's really a sad situation. And the only times that we're even competitive in games are in the middle of massive rainstorms and shit like that. So the other team can't score that much, but they will. The Ravens will get their shit together and they will score a bunch of points. And there's no way the Browns come back, and there's no way that you can rely on anything because the quarterback is poor. I think again that when you get a gift like the Browns got, you don't score a touchdown. And Schmidt's done a great job kicking field goals. Nothing bad to say about Herr Schmidt, but honestly, you got to score that touchdown. And again, you can't call plays for a guy who's inept, and that is unfortunately the case with the quarterback Dillon Gabriel. That's because we know, Greg, we've been up by 6, and that doesn't mean a damn thing. The Browns will lose this game. We all know it. And it's just a matter of how it happens and how disturbing it will be. All right, I'm done. But I will be back after the game, that I promise you, with the post-game show. Let's hang in there and see what happens. I don't even really want to even guess at this point. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you after the game. Bye-bye.